Rise and shine, Teller County. You've just tuned your dial to Teller Time, where Thom and Charlie are fully caffeinated, mildly chaotic, and absolutely ready to kick this day into gear. Okay, a big congratulations to everyone. Hopefully, you all survived tax day. Your receipts are crumpled, the calculators are smoking, and somewhere an accountant or two is laying face down in a pile of W-2s whispering, I need a vacation. But here inside the historic Immer Cabin, the vibe is different. The walls are relaxed, the energy is flowing, and your two charismatic podcasters, yes, me and Charlie, officially declaring this place a safe haven for every heroic last-minute taxpayer. As always, we're proudly supported by the UPass Historical Society, the guardians of our past, the keepers of our stories, and the only people who can make a 140-year cabin feel like the coziest backstage dressing room in Colorado. Visit our Facebook page, Teller Time, to see some great photos of this interior. It's pretty wild looking. Okay, and speaking of backstage, today's guest is a man who doesn't just know Teller County history, he performs it, he embodies it, and he brings it to life with the kind of presence that makes even the cabin floorboards sit up straight. Listeners, prepare yourself because stepping into the spotlight today is none other than David Martinek, storyteller, historian, actor, and the only person who can make a mining claim sound like a Shakespeare monologue. When David talks, the past doesn't just whisper, it walks right into the room, takes a bow, and asks for a second act. So now, folks, I'm going to bravely step aside because it's time to turn the mic over to Charlie and Dave, a duo so deep into local history that Charlie actually remembers when the Immer Cabin was just the new place they're building.
You are sad.
Take it away, guys.
I wanted to ask you a question. Have you heard any more news about the Tava House when that's actually?
They're actually looking at May 1st. They're supposed to be doing a
Really?
soft opening this weekend. I heard it's about some wedding event plan or something, but it was just in the paper. May 1st is what they're looking to kick it open and get it going.
Oh,
So,
and no, is that soon?
yeah,
That's really good.
13 days. Wow.
Yeah,
Yes.
no kidding.
yeah.
Okay. Well, back to so I know you brought a little something with you I'd like to talk about because it's a fantastic story about the legend of the Catamont Charley.
Well,
Did-
you asked me to come up with some history
yes,
that most people are not aware of. Okay.
right.
So I found the story of Catamount Charlie in a publication that was written in 2000 by the Teller County Department of Parks, and it was called the History and Mysteries of the Catamount Ranch
Wow.
Open Space.
Yeah.
And it was actually written by a lady by the name of Kim Carcel and Kim Long, both of which were with the Parks Division.
Huh.
And they interviewed any number of people, 15 to 20 people, including 4 from the UPass Historical Society. Larry Black,
Oh, yes.
Dee Breitenfeld, John McKay,
Yeah.
and Hugo Lackman, plus other people. Okay. Embedded in that history was this little snippet about a character from the 1880s called Catamount Charlie.
Hmm.
Let me go back a little bit and kind of set the stage for
Yeah.
him, because in 1880, in the 1880 census, that census showed that there were about 8,000 people in the El Paso County area.
That's it. Huh.
7,700 of them were white. About 160 were African American, 16 Chinese, and 3 Indians. Okay.
I'll be darned. Yeah.
But by the 1890s, when the railroad had already been built and when gold was discovered in Cripple Creek,
Mm-hmm.
the population expanded exponentially to about 21,000.
Yes.
So a lot of those came from the Midwest, and a lot of the foreign immigrants came from England and Wales and Scotland and
Sure.
you know,
Yeah.
particularly the Welsh, because they had experience in building tunnels. and bridges and buildings for the railroad. So they imported a lot of those people.
Yeah.
So we think that perhaps Catamount Charlie went his way when the population started to increase because it
Oh.
encroached upon his lifestyle.
Yeah.
Anyway, the significance of Catamount Charlie is that he's known for a particular episode that made him famous. And that episode is that he killed 3 mountain lions and 1 bison with 2 shots from his rifle.
Now wait a minute. Is this?
Uh-huh.
Do you think that's factual, or is that just something?
Well-
something somebody? I don't know.
In December 17th, 1880, this story appeared in the New York Times.
Well, you know the New York Times is
Yeah.
spot on.
And also the Colorado Springs Gazette Telegram,
Okay.
okay,
Interesting.
where it describes Catamount Charlie
Yeah.
and also this episode in his own words.
Wow.
Now, we think Catamount Charlie wasn't really an educated man, formally educated.
Yeah.
Certainly he was wilderness wise.
Uh-huh.
But the newspaper account says that he was tall and lanky, that his complexion was dark, which means he was either African American or Mexican or Indian or combination of all 3.
Right. Right.
He wore buckskin clothes,
Sure.
and he had a repeating rifle, which is probably a lever action rifle. And he rode a horse called Captain Kidd.
Huh.
Had a big sombrero.
Oh yeah, man. He was a character.
Kind of
Yeah.
points to the Mexican. He wore moccasins, which was kind of Indian influence.
Sure.
So anyway, this story happens where he brings in these skins from this kill to Aiken and Hunt's Museum in Old Colorado City,
I'll be done.
or the Colorado Springs area. And he describes what happened. He said he was up in the Catamount area, and he heard this commotion, and he looked around this rock, and here he saw 3 mountain lions attacking this bison.
Huh.
And this bison was backing up against a tree, and every time the lions would lunge at him, they would lower his
Yeah.
horns and fight them off. And he said it was just too good a picnic to ignore.
Yeah.
So he took a bead on one of the lions, and when he shot, just as he shot, another lion
Jumped right in.
jumped right in, and the bullet went through the neck of one, turned a little bit, went through the torso of the other one, went through that lion and hit the bison, and they all fell down at the same
Oh
time.
my God.
Okay. Interesting.
He said he was so excited, he jumped out from behind the rock, not realizing there was another lion. And that lion saw him and started to attack, and he didn't have time to raise his rifle, so he shot from the hip and took the lion in the chest.
I'll be done.
So he had killed 3 mountain lions
Wow.
and 1 bison with 2 shots.
That's amazing. Wow.
Now,
Huh.
Catamount, I don't know if you know the name, how that name is derived. Catamount is the name of a type of mountain lion.
Oh.
In fact, the University of
Well,
Vermont
Yeah.
are called the Catamounts,
Huh.
and their mascot is Charlie Catamount.
I see.
That's just a little bit of trivia.
Interesting.
But anyway, so Catamount Charlie is explaining what happened to Mr. Hunt, and this all gets somehow recorded and into a story
Uh-huh.
into the that appears in the New York Times in
Amazing.
December 17th, 1880.
1880.
1880.
Wow.
And then later on, it appears in the Gazette. Now we don't know what happened to him. Like I said, as population increased, maybe he moved on to
Yeah.
more rural areas or whatever. But this story lingers.
It's
It's
amazing.
just an example of
Yeah.
some of the colorful characters that
Oh.
existed
Man.
back in the
In
1880s.
that era,
1890s.
locally here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
they sure could have used him at the Alamo. I mean, think about it. Getting 2 or 3 things in one shot. I mean, wow. Yeah. Well, that's fabulous.
He says, um, here's a mountain bison's hide, and here's a mountain lion's hide, and 2 more mountain lions' hide, and the first lion's skin is the biggest I ever seen. It's 9 feet. It measures from tip to tip. Must have weighed 500 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
He says, you see, it was this way. I was looking round for game back at the peak when all at once I heard a growling and a howling, you know, which reminded me that the mountain lions were not all dead yet.
Yeah.
So I crawled around a point of rock, and I'm blamed if I didn't see 3 mountain lions having a fight with a monstrous bison. I tell you, it was a big fight. The lions would make a leap, and the bison would back up against a tree and take them on his horns. I don't know how the fight would have come out, but it was just too good a picnic for me to pass up.
That's right.
So I drawed a bead on the first lion as it came in range, and I pulled my old rifle off. The surprising part of the affair was that just as I pulled one of the lions, it jumped in between me and the one I shot at and caught the ball just behind his ribs. It passed clean through him, and being turned a bit, it cut the second lion in the throat and went on to break the neck of the bison. And they all dropped in a heap, and I was so tickled. I jumped out from behind the rock when the third lion saw me.
Oh yeah.
The third lion, he saw me and made a jump in my direction, and as I saw him coming, I didn't have time to take an aim. But I brought my repeating rifle up under my arm and took a fly shot at him, and luckily for me, I took him in the breast and he tumbled over dead.
Yeah.
That was the story.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, and there's a obviously I think Winchester would like to have used that in their advertisement because think about it, because back in those days it wasn't too terribly long after the single shot
Sure.
rifles were used in the Civil War and different things, and
Yeah.
so he was pretty darn fortunate to have a repeating rifle
Oh,
like
he
that.
was,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh, that's extraordinary. Extraordinary.
That's just one of the things. I wrote this story in 2013, and I remember trying to look for an image that would illustrate how he might
yeah.
look, you know.
Could he be the actual Yeti that everyone's
Yeah. I never found one, you know, the combination
Yeah.
of the buckskins and the sombrero.
That'd be
A lot of people wore sombreros back then.
Oh, sure.
They didn't. Cowboy hats didn't come into play until much later.
yeah.
But and the moccasins and all, you know, it was obvious this was,
A mixture.
you know, a gentleman who had mixed heritage and so on,
Oh yeah.
and made his living, you know, in the wild, like Jim Bridger and all those other people. So
Yes.
incredible. It's an interesting story. It is.
So it sounds like he was really, because of the population at the time, and he was more of a mountain man.
He was.
He lived in
Yeah.
the wilderness, and then when the population grew, he just probably moved on. Is that what we're thinking? Yeah,
That's
probably what.
the assumption.
Yeah.
Anyway, you know,
Because
speculation.
nobody recorded his death anywhere.
No.
Okay. Interesting.
You know, it's amazing what a little snippet of a story. I mean, you can let your mind run
Oh,
wild as
yeah.
to understand what happened.
Yes.
You know,
That's fantastic.
this is just, it's an example. Back when Mel McFarland and I were doing a radio program with
Mhm.
Miller,
Telecast. I
Netcast.com,
remember well.
we did a little video where we were trying to explain how important history is. You know,
Right.
I think we had 3 elements. One was history tells us what happens in the past. Second, history, if we know about it, kind of helps us deal with the present
True.
and gives us some idea of how to react to the future, you know.
Right.
And it's somewhat of a puzzle to me because my mission has always been to illustrate the importance of history
I know. Yes.
to us, other than just learning about the facts. You know, a lot of people say, what's history? Well, it's dates, facts. That's about it. But it's more than that.
It is. Totally.
In my estimation, every person who ever lived that we know about, or every episode, every event is a lesson plan for how we can live or not live,
Mm-hmm.
what we should be doing or not be doing in the present.
Well, and that points to, I've heard this several times, if you don't know where you've been, you really don't know where you're going.
That's right.
That kind of thing.
Yeah. History gives us thousands and thousands of years of human nature
That's right.
that if we would just learn a little bit of it, our life would be so much more enriched.
Oh,
Than it is. And so many people ignore history, not realizing that it's the lessons of life.
Well, and you think of the children too. I mean, the kids, it sometimes feels like it's slipping away from the new generations, the new
Mhm.
children. We need to, in my opinion, like you, I think we need to explore more ways to get them interested and keep them interested, because there's so many things that can just fall away. That's why at the Historical Society we like to do the oral histories,
Yeah.
because some of them stories just could disappear.
Yep.
They if we don't record them and have them down, and people in the future or even now won't know about them.
I can't help feeling that every generation has that same thought,
Yeah.
that history is lost on the youth and so on. And I've always said that don't even talk about history to anybody under 50 years old.
Yeah.
Because they're so consumed with life that they don't
Exactly.
have time to dwell on
Yeah. Yeah.
the meaning of history and how it affects them later on.
Well, with so many new things,
Yeah.
like the new technologies, and especially with kids these days, I mean, they love video games, they love all these other things like that. They do kind of drift, it seems to me. I don't know, I could be wrong, but it seems like they're not as into history as we would think. However,
Not yet.
not
Yeah.
yet. That
Yeah.
being said,
Yeah.
when we interviewed these two kids that played in the theater production Grease,
Yeah.
which was an amazing show, um, they touched on a few things because that took place sort of in the 50s.
Sure.
And so they were really enjoying the thought of that, bringing that back, bringing that look and thought back
Sure.
to our present.
Yeah.
So in some ways, there is a little bit of hope there.
Well, I think sort of combining the old with the new.
Yeah.
Just give it a new flavor. Still talk about the history in the past, but just sort of update it to
Well, that's
what's
what
going to catch their eye. Yeah.
that's kind of their point about doing the production of Grease.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were bringing the old to the new kind of thing.
Because the 50s and 60s, that was a great time.
Oh,
Great time, great music, great clothes.
Well, if you think about the past and what has happened from Caesar's time and even before until now,
Right?
there has been so much changes in society and technology and so on, but yet the basic tenets of human nature comes through all of that.
That's right.
And that's really what I think we need to rely on, is a study of human behavior, human nature,
Mm-hmm.
that are just being faced with new challenges,
Totally. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
reacting in a similar way as their ancestors did,
Right. Right.
because their challenges were just as unique
Oh, there was
to
always
them
yes.
as ours is today.
So true. So yeah, in essence, I think we could say there is always still going to be the urge to remember the history,
Yeah.
remember the things that were important to us. And I know that a lot of people, especially this ancestry.com,
Mhm.
has become really big.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
because of that fact, they want to know, they want to remember.
yeah.
And so yeah, I think we'll never lose. I don't think that, can't imagine ever
Mhm.
totally losing our need to know history and want to be part of it, our understanding of it. So, but for some reason, it's us with the Historical Society, and like you, David, we like to make sure it's in our presence
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
we like to see it.
Ancestry.com. Have you checked it out?
Oh, of course I have.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm
Are
in
you
it.
related to like anyone that's important?
Well, not the Pope. No,
What did you find when you went back into
it
your
was
ancestry?
it was fascinating stuff. Again, I mean, I had no idea. I knew I had family that was on both sides of the Civil War, because in Missouri it was pretty split, and
Yeah.
a lot of my past comes from the Kansas City area. Liberty, Missouri is south
Yeah.
of Kansas City, and different things. So I did find that I had, and it went all the way back to Revolutionary War. I haven't applied for it, but I guess I'm
Uh-huh.
one of the sons of the American Revolution.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I had relatives that fought in that war too.
You don't look that old,
Yeah, I know. I
One,
appreciate that, Dave, but
one of the legends in our family, the Czechs in the 1850s
this is
immigrated
interesting.
up the Mississippi, and they settled in the eastern part of Missouri because that was similar landscape to the area around Prague, which is where they came from. Okay,
Yeah,
they were farmers who, because of droughts and famines and so on, caused them to move into the city, and then that wasn't acceptable, so they immigrated to the United States. So my great 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 grandfather, I don't know how many greats that should be, but
yeah.
his name was Wilhelm Martinek.
Hmm.
And I have his naturalization papers on my wall in the cabin.
That's extraordinary.
And he changed his name to William. Um, and he immigrated in 1850. And it's still, you have to be a resident for 5 years before you can apply for naturalization.
Right.
So in 1855, I have his naturalization papers in 1855, all handwritten.
Wow.
Okay. Where he became a citizen. And the story is that during the Civil War, he got into a skirmish with some redlegs from Kansas and got shot in the leg.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
And he walked all the way to St. Louis, which is about 60 miles,
Man.
to a doctor to be treated. Okay. So obviously he lived because I'm here.
Yeah.
But that was just an
That's amazing.
interesting story.
Well, I mean, he must have been real good at tourniquets or something. That's a long way to go without bleeding to death.
I don't know the details
I know.
of the incident, but obviously it wasn't so bad that it,
That's
but that
wild.
that
Yeah.
is wild. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I think I will delve into Ancestry.com. I haven't
You
looked at it.
should.
I think it'd be kind of fun just to see.
oh yeah, man.
They say we're all related one way or another,
Well,
so I think
you
it'd be
could
kind of
say that.
interesting to
Yeah.
see what the actual
Yeah.
truth
No.
of that is.
Well, the thing about Ancestry, they give you these hints on their own that kind of guides you, helps guide you, but you got to be careful a little bit, because some of them are, if they have the same last name, it can be misconstrued a bit. You know, you got to
Right.
be sure, and you have to like do these double checks to make sure. And there's ways to do it. There's ways
Okay.
to do it on there,
Yeah.
and it works out usually pretty accurate.
Probably a million chambers out there.
Oh, there are. There are. And yeah, and so I actually had to order a book about my Chambers family,
Uh-huh.
which helped me decipher some of the ones that they were thinking was in my family tree, but wasn't really. So I had to do a little extra research.
There is one thing I found when I first moved here. There was a Tim Seehafer with the
Hmm?
same spelling as mine. He worked for Red Rock Realty.
Really?
Yes. I tried reaching out to him once. It's weird, number one, the fact that the names are spelled the same, because usually Seehafer is spelled like a Schaefer or
Yeah.
you get slaughtered.
Yeah, yeah.
But just the fact there's a Tim and there's a Tom, both with the same last name in Colorado. So I don't know who he was, if he was a relation or
Well,
not.
the way you spell Tom is Thom.
Yeah, but it's
and
still,
isn't that kind of a Swedish? I mean,
that was just a restaurant name I was given. Because they pronounce it Thom.
You're a
Yes,
baker.
they would pronounce it Thom, so that meant my food was ready for pickup.
That's
But
I
yeah, I
got
think I'll delve into a little bit, see what the
You
ancestry
should.
has, and just see.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
You can even get deeper into it with the DNA research they do, and
Okay.
that really gets technical about how much of you is from what region
Sure.
in the world. In the world, so it's interesting.
More on this in coming episodes.
Yeah, more on this coming up. That's right. But for now, we're only, 23 minutes in. But I would like to thank you again for being here again.
Certainly have.
And
Happy
we need to
be.
do it more often
Yeah.
because there's more, of course.
Pick
We
another
could talk,
subject. Yeah.
yeah, we could talk about all kinds of great stuff and with you, Dave, because there is a lot.
Yep.
And
Well, you got a documentary coming up, right? Aren't you involved in
he's
documentary?
not it. Well, he was in the mighty
Okay.
Midland.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those towns it built, and we were talking about, and we still, it's not off the table
Yeah.
at some point doing a sequel
Okay.
to that train documentary. But this one is related to the extraordinary women of the area back in the day, and we may reach out to you on some of those points too. I don't know. Rob is the same director, and
Yeah.
so he's doing more. He asked about you actually and how you're doing, and if
Well, I'm glad.
and and I said if you need to talk to Dave, I'm sure you'd be fine with
Yeah.
that. But some of these ladies around the area weren't directly related to some of the accuracies that you have in the train side of
Yeah,
things, and therefore, but you obviously have with this legend of Catamont Charlie, you have other resources, so we need to talk to you about some other things.
Well, back when I was writing a little more prolifically, I delved into a lot of different subjects.
That's what I thought.
Probably 200 or so articles that I wrote in a long time. What I did was I put out a newsletter when I first started in real estate and would send that out to my audience.
Yeah,
Okay. Potential clients and so on.
sure.
To try to promote the region and so on. And so most of that, because history was interesting to me,
Yeah,
were historical. And most of those stories, some of which have been published in the Ute Country News in the past,
right.
came from that. Okay, and this came from that.
I see.
So that's the genesis of all those stories. But at the same time, it helped me
Yeah,
because I was really promoting myself. That's what realtors do,
that's right.
To try to get interest from people outside of the state who wanted to come here, maybe get a second home or whatever. So,
Well, I'll tell you what, you've been so helpful with us in the Historical Society in the way of you guided us to help maintain that building and divide, the Pikes Peak Community Center. Without your direction and help on that, I don't think that would have ever happened. I don't know.
Yeah.
But there was your involvement with that with us and so many other things. It's been a real pleasure and we're really thankful that you've been able to do these things.
well,
And
thank you. I was
in
glad to
fact,
help.
in fact, you've helped so much that now I want to be on your board, the
Yeah.
board of the
Teller County Historic Preservation Advisory Board.
that's it. I am
Another title for Charlie.
another one. Yes, I'm going to be part of that operation here shortly. I'm in the
Nice.
process of getting them all the documentation they need,
Yeah,
and it'll be interesting to see where that goes
It
with
will.
the county.
and we're
And I
glad
like
to
to-
have you too.
Yeah, no, I'm
Uh-huh.
glad to do this because I feel like now it's sort of forming a coalition again because there
Exactly.
is a coalition,
Yeah.
but with the Historical Society connected with somewhat to the
Yeah.
county in that regard. Yeah, it's a pleasure of mine to get involved with that. So I thank you for bringing that to me,
It's all
and
right.
we'll just
That's right.
we'll just carry on.
Carry on. Is that my cue?
That's
Kind
your
of.
cue.
All right. Well, we're going to use some of our wonderful podcast time to ask Dave some ridiculous questions.
Uh-oh.
Also called, yes, our funny question time.
Yes.
All right. If Teller County had an official snack in 1895, what would it be or what would it taste like? A
Mm,
snack.
a snack.
Imagine Tom asking about snacks.
There you go. Hey,
Yeah.
Jerky.
jerky. Okay. That'd be a popular one. Okay. That holds up really well. If you could time travel to any year in Teller County, which one would you visit and which one would you run away from?
2030.
2030. You'd run away from that or go visit it?
I'd go visit it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
2030. Well, that's only
Or beyond. Yeah.
Okay.
Not in the
that far off.
past.
It's only 4 years from now.
That's not that far away.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hopefully still living then.
Of course.
That's why,
Yeah, that's right.
I think what most people don't understand is that there are no good old days. That years in the past were tougher than they are now,
Oh yeah.
in many ways. But that produced tougher people too,
Oh, yeah.
stronger people.
Got that
Yeah.
right.
Sure did.
And I'm not sure that if I went back to the 1890s, I could survive.
I know.
There you go.
Oh, that's funny.
All right. If Teller County history were a movie, what genre would it be?
Oh,
Western,
Western.
but not cowboy type
Right.
Western. Okay.
yeah.
Pioneer type Western, the Industrial Revolution type
Oh yeah.
Western, that type of thing, because I think that's when the area
Things change.
began to develop was during the Industrial Revolution.
Big changes,
Yeah,
yes.
the late 1800s.
Yeah.
All right. Well, next thing we got to check off my to-do list. We got some lightning round questions
Oh, yeah.
here, which are fast, answers are questionable, and you'll wonder why we asked them. So, just a little one-word answer. Choice being an Old West saloon or a modern coffee shop.
Modern coffee shop.
All right. Favorite historical smell: wood, smoke, or leather?
Smoke.
Yeah.
Smoke.
Yeah.
All right. Why smoke?
Well,
Well, when I was growing up, we heated our house with wood,
Okay.
and
it's an old familiar smell.
Okay.
that smell
I got
pervaded
that.
the whole house. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Gold Rush or Ghost Town?
Oh, Gold Rush.
All right. All right. Here's a good one. Historical title for Charlie.
Oh, what? Oh my God.
That include him, make him feel loved.
Yes, thank you, Tom.
Historical title.
Mr. History.
Mr.
History.
You were thinking something else, but yeah, Mr. History, I think is a
Yes.
very apt title.
Well,
for
that's I'll take
Charlie
it.
over
I'll
here.
take that one.
All right.
You bet.
Okay, Dave. Well, thank you for joining us today. Your depth of knowledge and the way you bring these stories to life always adds something special to our show. We appreciate your time, your insight, and the
Happy
good
to be
humor you
Yeah.
bring every time we're here. All right. Coming up next, we've heard from Charlie, but he's just going to bring us up to date on the vintage baseball game happening in August.
Well, I can tell you it's going to be an extraordinary time. First of all, the location right on Highway 24 there in a field where they used to do gymkhanas, and the Rock and Gem show has their stuff right there. It's a perfect spot. The vintage ball players, they don't like a regulation field because their history, they are accurate to the 1864 rules that were played back in the Civil War, the baseball games. And so they're very, very accurate to that. So they like a rough kind of pasturey type of, and so it's an ideal spot. And then David is part of the Victorian Society, and they've been talking about helping participate
Yep.
with us in this game. And that's going to be wonderful to have your folks there, David. And I hope you're there too.
We were there last year, and hopefully we can expand on our presence this year too.
Absolutely. It's going to be a lot of fun.
So the
Because-
date, sorry.
No, I'm saying they're all in period, costumes
Okay.
and stuff. And yes, the date is August 8th.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
And
Fine.
it's between 11 and 3 or however long
Okay.
it lasts.
Yeah.
All right.
But what we encourage is everybody bring your lawn chairs or bring your camping chairs because, there's no way we can have stadium seating, But one of the things to think about in the rules of the game, if anybody in the spectators catches a fly ball, it's an out. It's an out for the
Really?
other. That's part of their rules back in
Okay.
the day.
So bring your mitts, boys and girls.
Well, they didn't have mitts.
They didn't even have gloves then.
Oh.
No, well, it's a combination. It's kind of a between a softball and a hard ball.
So you'll have the official ball they use?
Yes, they
Yeah.
have all of that.
All
They
right.
have everything. The uniforms. Oh yeah.
And the foods? The foods. What kind of foods?
We're talking Cracker Jacks, peanuts, popcorn, and hot dogs, of course.
And root
All
beer,
that.
root beer.
Yeah, they're talking about the root beer as well, root beer float.
I was gonna say you gotta have a root beer float.
Oh, yeah.
So it's going to be just a lot of fun, excitement, and something that's not usually seen around here. But Woodland Park had a baseball team back in, I think it
They
was,
did.
yeah, it was like the early 1900s. They
played-
had a team.
played
Cripple
over-
Creek had a team.
They played over in where a field used to be over by the Catholic Church.
Oh, that's right.
And, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Is that
Because,
behind me?
because the
yes.
Woodland
It's over there.
Hotel was up on that hill there.
That's right. The
Yeah.
hotel was up on the hill.
Yeah.
So they played right over the. I didn't know it was that close.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
Interesting.
So that
All right.
that's going to be the thing with the ball game. The city of Woodland Park is heavily involved. They're participating with. They're bringing all the trash cans, the porta potties, and everything else that you would
That's
need
great.
for an event.
Yeah.
So they're participating hugely.
You have the teams lined up?
We haven't the opposing team yet. We were working on it being the first responders in the Woodland Park area here. So we've still yet to talk with the chief and the fire department and all those guys, but the city manager seems to feel they'll jump right on this to play against these old vintage guys. Yeah.
All right. Well, see, you thought I didn't know much about baseball. I know more than just the word innings.
I'm
See,
impressed.
he insulted me last night. Said, "Do I know what an inning is?" It's like, yeah.
I wonder how they can have root beer floats when ice cream hasn't been
Well,
invited.
that'll be tricky.
Oh,
That's right.
okay.
Well, it brings back the old feel of stuff.
Okay.
It's not necessarily all the way back to then, but they're going to have that at the 4th of July too.
Yeah.
Was A&W root beer around then?
I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know.
That's the only name I know in root beer, and I think that's
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
4th of July is going to be great.
Oh,
It
it's
is.
gonna be
I have the honor of participating in the UPass Symphony Guild. And so, we're working with the symphony to do the evening concert.
So is this the usual Symphony Above the Clouds?
Yeah, that's
Oh.
the Symphony Above the Clouds. I mean, it's going to be special this year because of the anniversaries, the 250, 150, and so on.
Right.
And it'll be great. And the uncertainty is because of our drought,
Yeah.
whether or not we'll have fireworks.
Well, that's right.
But last couple of years, when we combined the 4th of July and the Symphony Above the Clouds, because we used to have it on July 5th
Yeah.
over at the middle school.
Yep.
First of all, we saved so much money. And secondly, the synergy between the 4th of July during the day and the concert at night,
It's incredible.
it's incredible. And
So you remember? Oh, I know you know the Symphony Above the Clouds used to have the artillery guys from Fort Carson.
yeah.
And I don't know if they'll ever bring that back, but boy, that was pretty. When they did the overture of 18,
Yeah. And they do. The ending tune is always the overture of
oh, it's
1812 overture.
fantastic. Yeah.
And last year we did it, some communication between the symphony and the fireworks people.
Yeah.
We're on the radio.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, it's time.
Yeah. Sure.
But it finally happened.
Yeah.
And the fireworks were going off when we're ending the 1812 overture. It was great.
Oh, yeah.
The cannons are better,
Well,
but because they're real close.
right.
But the fireworks is so much more of an attraction.
I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah.
than that drone thing we did a couple of years ago.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're just hoping that weather allows us to do that.
Okay.
That's
Well, that sounds good. We look forward to that.
Plus, I think the music is Star Wars. Isn't he doing the Star Wars?
well, they're doing
part of it.
they're doing a lot of patriotic songs,
Okay.
of course. But I have said, if you do movie themes, that's patriotic too.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Particularly, I like the Magnificent Seven and so on.
Yeah, it's some of my favorite
But
stuff.
and they can do them because they have already done them in concert. So I don't know what they're going to. They're going to have a holograph projection with part of their songs and
Oh,
stuff.
my goodness.
So, I mean, they're really going. It's just going to be great.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to see that. Yeah. So anyway,
Well, from the batter's box, we go to the brain box. Okay.
once again,
Once again, our brain box today. The word today is recondite. 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 And it's an adjective. Recondite. Yes, that is the
Sounds like
pronunciation.
an insect.
No cheating on your phone.
Yeah.
Definition is describing knowledge, subjects, or information that is little known.
Well, that's what you do.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Hey, we're all about, the unknown and the little known. But to use it in a sentence, his intellect was very quick.
And record.
Yeah, piercing into the recondite meaning of things in a moment.
Wow.
I know, you can't wait to use that.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
One of my favorite words is ultra crepidarian.
Ultra crepidarian?
Yes. It's a person who has an opinion about a subject he knows nothing about.
Wow.
Well,
Okay.
there's a few of them around.
Yeah, that's a few. All right. Okay.
That's great.
All right. So a little bit of information we're doing. Teller Time has launched a sponsorship program. Okay. Just starting it. It's designed to lift up small businesses, nonprofits, and community voices that make this region what it is. It's a simple, affordable at either $25, $50, or $100. And it gives local organizations a chance to be a part of the stories we tell every week.
Mm-hmm.
With this podcast playing on Spotify and YouTube and Apple iTunes and Facebook, yes, has gotten over 7,500 views, you said.
Well, it varies.
Okay.
But
Well,
with an extraordinary guest like we have today, I'm sure it'll be right up there.
yeah,
But no, we've hit the a little over the 7,000
Okay.
mark,
That's
and
great.
we've
Yeah.
varied down from 5,000 to 75. Yeah, it's there.
for our 37th podcast today, or 38?
This is the 38th.
38. That's pretty darn
Yeah.
good for,
Yeah.
So it's a minimal investment for maximum reach. Just think, if your business had been on here when we started, you would have a lot of people listening to it. So think about it. You can find more information on our Facebook page. And remember, it is called Teller Time. That is 2 words.
Mhm.
All right. And there is information there. So yes, if not, you can contact one of us. Gmail, tellertime25@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's swing open the community calendar, see what's buzzing, brewing, and happening right here in our mountain backyard. This is pretty phenomenal. We just found out about this. A big shout out to the incredible junior high and Summit Elementary schools. Their Destination Imagination team. I don't know if you're aware of what that is at all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 4 out of 5 teams from these schools will have a chance to represent the state of Colorado and Woodland Park at the Global Finals in Kansas City, Missouri.
Huh.
Missouri.
Missouri.
May 21 for the 25th. May 21 through the 25th. And for those people who don't know what Destination Imagination is, it's an acronym, but it's an innovative program that brings STEAM to life. STEAM meaning science, technology, engineering, arts, and math.
Mm-hmm.
So I got some pretty talented kids out there.
Wow.
Like STEM. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 So the cost to send these students is $22,000.
Really?
So they are looking for sponsors, partners, and any donations to do this. But yeah, 2 schools from Woodland Park doing some really good stuff.
Fantastic.
They're very talented kids. Hardcastle Home Services is offering free summer HVAC classes to students ages 15 to 18. So information, call 719-686-6742 for more information. The Teller County Masonic Lodge number 96 is offering $8,000 in state scholarships.
I read that.
Yep, to a senior at Woodland Park High School and Cripple Creek. For more information, you can send an email to coachsmitty40@yahoo.com. Okay. This, I think, is really important. This is something called the Prom Panther event. Okay. Again, another acronym, but the word prom means please return on Monday. And it's talking about the importance of safe driving during the prom season.
Really? Oh,
Yes, that is something new that they're going to be getting involved in. So again, we're going to keep you updated on that.
Not a bad idea.
That is very important.
Yeah.
Kids, everyone thinks, they can do and they'll live and, it doesn't matter. It's not that big of a deal. It is that big of a deal. If you could see what happens texting and driving, drinking and driving, not pay attention while you're
It could be
driving.
tragic, yeah.
Yes.
I lost
So-
a classmate in '63.
I know. I've known guys too back
Yeah.
in the day. Yeah.
So we're going to be really harping on that because that is important for parents to encourage their children, get their children to listen to what the parents are saying. Teller County Sheriff's Office is offering once again their CPR, AED, and first aid classes April 30th at 5:30. Couple anniversaries going on, 5-year anniversary going on to the Mountain Dogs Grill down there in front of Woodland Hardware. Kyle does some great food. He's got more interesting hot dogs and hamburger combination. He just started with some wild meats down there.
Yeah.
So if you haven't had a hot dog or a hamburger in a while, he's got some really
yeah.
good stuff down there. Kyle's a good man. Kyle does a lot for the community, offering up free food to people who can't afford
He
it.
wanted to be part of our the baseball thing.
Okay.
And serve hot dogs there. But he was already booked. He didn't realize the date until too late, you know.
Okay.
But we'll catch him again.
Oh, yeah. Reserve Art Gallery also has their 5-year anniversary going on. Gail Gross, yes. They're going to be having an art walk May 1st, and on May 2nd, they're going to be opening the doors at 8 a.m. for a car show and free flowers to each of their participants.
That'd be nice.
Yes. And then they finish with an art gala that night from 6 to 8 p.m. Okay. Reserve Art Gallery, great spot. Anyone interested in grant writing? Pikes Peak Community Foundation is offering a free seminar May 4th and May
Steve
12th.
going to that. Steve Plute.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Information, call 719-389-1251.
I have a great grant writer down in the Springs. If
Do you?
Steve is interested, I can
Oh,
certainly
yes.
introduce him to.
Well, that would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Teller County has a job fair going on April 29th from 1 to 3 p.m. at the UPass Cultural Center. We have a senior expo and health fair April 26th, 10 to 2 at the Woodland Park Community Church located at 800 Valley View Drive. We have a spaghetti fundraiser for a new fire truck. They need
Wait.
a new fire truck.
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti fundraiser. It's
That's what
a
I thought
4-mile fire department.
Huh.
Oh,
Okay, needs a new fire truck.
I eat a lot of spaghetti.
There you go. That is April 25th. April 25th at 7 p.m. Okay. All right.
Interesting.
Yep. Quick breath because I know the anticipation is unbearable. So without further ado,
Here we go.
here we go. We move into the segment that refuses to make sense, but happily called the Did You Know segment,
Yeah.
where facts are questionable, logic is missing, and the only guarantee is Charlie will nod like all this is perfectly normal.
Oh, of course.
Of course.
That's right.
But this is interesting. Actually, these are facts. Did you know there are 11 Indian tribes in Minnesota? Yes, I kid you not.
11?
11 Indian tribes are in Minnesota.
No, I
Yeah.
couldn't have even imagined.
From the Chippewa to the Sioux Indians.
Huh.
Okay.
Well, yeah,
Right. Yeah.
that's interesting. Good to know.
Yeah.
Did you know?
Just as did you know, this is even more important. Did you know rabbits can see behind themselves without turning their heads?
Oh my God.
I did know that.
You did know that.
Did know
I
that.
think my teacher was related to a rabbit.
And I can see the rabbit now. What are you doing?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
It's
Exactly.
true because their eyes are positioned so wide,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, they can get nearly a 360-degree view.
Here's some trivia. When I was a kid, my father raised rabbits.
Okay.
The white ones with the pink eyes.
Yeah.
What do you call those?
Albinos?
Albinos.
Yes.
Yes. And we raised them in cages. And their gestation period is a month. And, we'd water them and feed them and so on. And they would eat the wood that their food was in.
Oh.
Because they'd also go to the bathroom in the wood, and that would create the salty flavor to the
is
wood.
that
So
right?
they'd chew it all up. But we had rabbits until probably I was 15 years old.
Yeah.
when we finally got rid of. We used to sell them at Easter time, and
Yeah.
Dad said, "There goes a dead rabbit," because they didn't know how to take care of them
Right.
and so on. And I have eaten rabbit in so many different ways.
I've had it
It's
several times.
Hassenpfeffer, it's a high protein meat. I mean, in fact,
Yes.
if you eat too much of it, it can cause a problem.
Yeah, that's right. I know.
Sorry.
All right. No
No,
worries.
that's
No
part,
worries.
it's part of it. Did you know?
See?
Yeah.
See? You think I'm crazy coming up with these things.
No.
This one does sound crazy, though. Did you know there's a psychological disorder where people believe they're a cow and try to live like one. I'm not surprised this day and age when you got kids thinking they're cats and dogs and they're furries and
That's
everything else,
right.
and they want to go to a litter box.
Yeah.
In
box
school.
in the classroom.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
that is a true. That is a true.
I know.
I think a cow in the classroom would probably be more dramatic.
Well, that'd be pretty dramatic.
Not quite sure whether they're going to lift their tail or do their business, but I hope the
I
teachers
got
prepare
it.
for that.
It's utterly fantastic.
All right, folks. Well, that's going to do it for today's
Yeah, did yourself,
episode.
Tom.
Today's episode of Teller Time. Okay, from all of us, we thank you for giving us the opportunity to listen and talk to you, and we want to thank you for joining us. And please think about coming onto our podcast and talk about anything. Okay, we're non-controversial, but obviously we like to have fun in what we're doing.
Mhm.
Okay, and until next time, take care of yourselves and take care of each other, and leave you with this thought: if there is no struggle, there is no progress. Okay, so thank you again, Dave, Charlie. Thank
Glad
you as
to be here.
always. Yes.
Thank you, David. It was
Delighted.
always great.
Yeah.
Always great.
Teller Time out.